Hey, it's Michael J, and there is a big anniversary going on. It's been 20 years since my thesis project in grad school to do the first production of the Rodgers and Hart musical Jumbo since its original production in 1935. So, let's celebrate Jumbo.
You stick to your trick, and your trick will be art.
I first learned about Jumbo as the 1961 film version starring Doris Day. I think I first saw it on TV when I was 12.
Over and over again, once again, and again. Do it over and over.
I grew up and became more interested in the history of musical theater. I came across this fascinating photograph of a live stage production of Jumbo. I couldn't believe that the thing had been done live on stage and that it was that huge. So when I was in grad school and I was looking around for a thesis project, I thought back to Jumbo and that crazy photograph. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to go back in time and see this thing live on stage? Well, the only way to do that is to produce it yourself. And so I got everybody talked into it. I got Rodgers and Hammerstein organization talked into it. Bruce Pomahack was my liaison there and helped me a lot. And I got Sac State to go along with the idea. And they gave me a research grant to go back to New York and do all the research I needed to do. The show was not in any sort of state where you could just easily rent the thing, license it, and put it on. It had to be put back together, so that was the work I had involved. And while I was at Lincoln Center looking around at what they had in boxes and things, there was this home movie footage that you're looking at right now, as well as some newsreel footage, which gives us a glimpse into the original production. Music professor Carol Delaney was instrumental in pulling together the music for this production. What you're hearing is the Texaco radio show broadcast of Jumbo, which was discovered around the time I started embarking on this project, and we had this to refer to, and Carol Delaney transcribed all of the music we didn't actually physically have in sheet music. She did an amazing job, and we couldn't have done it without her. Now, we weren't going to be able to do anything as elaborate as what you see here. The configuration of the original stage was 3/4, and at Sac State we had the Playwrights Theater, which was in that configuration. It seemed like a perfect place to do it, but we weren't going to be able to do all this circus spectacle, so we advertised it as being in concert, which sort of gave us the freedom to not do the circus spectacle, and yet we were able to design and devise and stage a beautiful production in a smaller space. And as you can see, our space was much smaller. Here we are in rehearsal in October 20 years ago, and Nancy Memory is the choreographer, who you'll see right here, teaching everybody how to do Circus on Parade. There is our vocal director, Claudia Kika.
Ready? 1, 2, and. Two more slows. Again. Now, when you start moving, it's going to be the same thing. Now you've gone to the next level. So now you're going to start.
Later on, we added performances in the following June 1998, and I had to replace most of the ensemble. So in the full production video you'll see here in a moment, that is the June 1998 cast. The production was designed by Francine West, and she painted these beautiful posters that surrounded the audience, and you could see them wherever you looked. I'm particularly proud with how great this ensemble sounds vocally. It sounds like they're singing 40-part harmony in this thing. Francine West also designed the elephant puppet that played Jumbo. Here you can see it in its various stages of development. The movie version of Jumbo is highly rewritten, but this particular scene is almost verbatim the same as the play.
Not a word. Not a word. Hold it right there! Where are you going with that elephant? What elephant?
What elephant?
Jumbo.
This isn't Jumbo. This is the Raja, the Persian mammoth. Okay. To prove to you, this is my elephant. I'm gonna let him walk right across with me. What do you think of that?
I'm still skeptical.
Still skeptical, huh? All right. Don't sneeze. All right. Forward. Hey. All right. I had a nice long talk with you. So look, Jumbo. Well, just a minute. I'll work out.
Ron Dumonchel, a student at Sac State at the time, was the lighting designer, and his lighting design went a long way to making our production magical. Clowns in October, Clowns in June. This is Brian Vestal, and 20 years later, just recently, I was able to meet up with him in New York City. I am currently housemates with this clown, Shane Wright.
the garden down on Madison Square. We were the shining stars on the trapeze and bars. Every social swell.
The costumes were pulled together by the costume shop class that was going on at the time, and the execution of everything was overseen by a student, Kelly Beck, who is also in the October cast. It is amazing that the school happened to have all the kinds of things we needed to give the show the proper circus look.
Give us some more! Some more! Women! Women! Women!
Center stage, Barbette, daring trapeze artist, adds to the stirring spectacle.
Barbette was a female impersonator aerialist, and at the end of her routine, she'd pull off her wig and reveal herself a man. This had absolutely no plot purpose, but it was woven into the show, so we had to do it too. Jimmy Durante was the original star comic who played Brainy Bowers, and our Brainy Bowers, played by Bradley Motes, did a wonderful job at creating that kind of a comedian from that era.
Rising refrain, wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true.
Watch me. Put your left foot forward. Your heart on your sleeve. Every muscle vibrates like a thoroughbred. The throttle wide open, and you crash into her arms. That's the way to win. The most amazing melody. Merriment and mirth. Circusing our greatest honor.
I made another previous video all about the backstage antics going on at our production of Jumbo. If you want to see that video, you can click the link right here and take a look.